What's good? It's your boy Quality. We're here to answer some questions from Sound of the Future. Let's do it.
Is that 508?
Yeah. Now I'm back in this shit. I'm just back in this shit. I'm back in this shit. I'm just back in this shit. Whoa. Now I'm back in this shit. I'm back in this shit. I'm back in this shit. Yeah.
What's up? It's Nolan back with another episode of Sounds of the Future TV. Who am I here with today?
Quality. Well, that's with 2 T's because we keep it 2 T's. So, yeah, we're here with my boy, Sounds of the Future.
For sure, bro. Thank you for joining us. So I want to go back to when you first started pursuing music. What really inspired you to, take it seriously?
I think what really inspired me is just never wanting to have that regret of just not doing it. It was always something that I really, really enjoyed doing. Mm-hmm. And I always wanted to get into like 100% and like put my all into. But I think there was just a lot of exterior noise that at the time, as a young kid, it was just a lot to kind of like think about. But I felt like when I got to that point and I was just like, fuck it, right? Let me just go for it all in. It's what I want to do, not what they want to do at the end of the day, right? So that's kind of what helped me really pursue that and get into it 100%.
So you talked about earlier how you grew up in the South and in Boston, and now you're currently living in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. So how have you been kind of able to pick up the different environments, and what have you learned from, each place you went to, and are you able to kind of input this different stuff and like energy into your music?
Yeah, absolutely. I think just in general, like I don't just hold myself to just one kind of music mm-hmm. or one kind of like, types of music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very just diverse and just learning as much as possible. Like, just because I rap or, I sing and I incorporate those sounds doesn't mean I can't incorporate like other sounds like country, R&B, pop, right? So I've always just been a learner of a student of the game, right? Yeah. Just learning from different types of music and implementing it as much as possible. But definitely, incorporating, when you listen to my music especially, you can hear like some Southern sounds where it's like very kind of bassy, like, and hype. And then when you come up here with the North stuff, it's just like different other sounds from up here. So, just using everything that I know to implement it into my own game.
So with your career, I always ask this question about, goals and stuff like that. What would you say you're striving for as an artist? Because a lot of artists have different, expectations and ideas of what they define as a success. So how would you personally define it?
Honestly, you explained it perfectly to where like everybody has their own idea of it. For me, I think success is just finding the people who really resonate the most with my music and my brand and like kind of what I stand for. Mm-hmm. Like if I have my own little fan base, even if it doesn't even mean that I have to be famous or anything like that, just my own fan base that actually connects with my music, that means more to me than anything. So I feel like that would be it right there.
For sure. So now to shift into kind of like an industry question a little bit, because, with what comes with being an artist, obviously comes with reaching different heights and, meeting different people that put you in different rooms and stuff. A lot of people in past interviews have been hesitant to even, be offered deals and, signing deals based on what they've heard in the past from, kind of like the horror stories of the music industry in a sense. So if you were ever presented with the opportunity to sign with a major label, is that something that you would be willing to do, but even if it kind of means sacrificing, creative control, or would you prefer to be independent and, have full control of your music?
I'm gonna be honest, I would prefer the independent route, right? Mm-hmm. Because I'm somebody who, even if I get a music video done by the top notch or top, whoever, I'm always having my own input, like music videos, mixes, anything like that. I always have my own input. So having somebody say no to that would suck 100%. Mm-hmm. I think in the day and age that we are right now, signing to a label does put you on like heavily, especially when we have like social media and stuff like that. They put you in a lot of different rooms, give you a lot of different opportunities and stuff like that. So if I was presented the opportunity, I'm open to it 100%, but I definitely want to have that creative freedom because that's a big part of what I am. Mm-hmm. Right?
So now to shift into the future even more, to talk about legacy with you, how would you want to be remembered as an artist and as a person in general?
Just fun, bro. Like, just do what you want to do at the end of the day. Like, what I've always stood for is just, like I said earlier, just doing what you want to do. Like, if you have a expression, like a creative expression, I feel like everybody has that in their life. And if you find that, like, go for it, right? And I feel like that's what I stand for 100%. And especially with the album that I just dropped, it's just like being completely free, right? Just, trying to get away from the system and do what you were always told to do and this and that. Just get away from all of that and just do what you want to do at the end of the day.
So I'm looking at your tattoos right now. A lot of your tattoos are self-expression in the sense of, the yin and the yang and the 777 and stuff like that. So it seems like you're really spiritual in that sense and stuff like that.
For sure.
So how are you able to kind of bring your spirituality into your career? And are there any practices that you, in terms of like faith and like, affirmations that you go through when you are creating and then, just putting out your work?
Absolutely. I think that's a big part of just me as an artist as well. Just the spiritual side. I would say it helps me because, when you get into this type of space, you got to be very careful and aware of like the people that are around you. So me being so spiritually tapped in, it definitely helps me just kind of weed out the people that, are just not good to have around you, right? So definitely in that sense, I feel like it's important. And then also with my own like creative processes, manifestations and affirmations are huge for me, right? Like, during the day, I'm always affirming to myself that everything that I think I am that person, right? And everything that I want, all my goals, I already have them. Right. So I think that's another important thing. If you wake up in the morning, just do your affirmations, tell yourself you are that guy, you are that girl, right? You are that person that you see in the mirror when you think about your dreams, right? So
prior to your career, do you feel like you ever had that, I guess those moments where everybody kind of does have it, but where you're lacking confidence, but do you feel like with your music and your career, this has kind of built up you to a point where it's like, even if you do have deters or haters, you're kind of like so mentally to the point where it's like this, I'm gonna make this work regardless, then you believe in yourself to that point?
100%. Like, if you don't have haters, you're not doing something right.
For sure.
Right? So I feel like anytime I see hate, it kind of excites me, right? I call it the law of averages, right? You do what you want to do, and then the more haters you see, you're gonna accumulate one person that actually likes what you're doing,
exactly.
right? And likes what you're creatively doing. So I love the hate. At the end of the day, if you got haters, you good.
Yeah, you gotta embrace it sometimes. So now to shift into projects and stuff like that. You recently dropped, correct?
Yeah, just dropped my album.
So can you talk about the creation of that project, the sounds you were diving into, lyric wise? What's that project pretty much?
So pretty much the project is very, I incorporate a lot of like rock star energy, a lot of like hype energy to where, you feel free when you listen to it, like you just having fun. You listening to it and you're like, cool, like I can resonate with this, right? I'm trying to get out of getting away from the system again, just like I really stand with that. And the anarchy symbol, right? Just anti-system at the end of the day, right? Just full you, whatever you want to do, just chase it, right? And I think forever really just stood for just forever being myself, not changing for anybody, right? No matter what anybody says or what anybody thinks, it doesn't matter. It's not their life, right? It's your life and your dreams and stuff like that. So that's really what the album stood for. So of course you're gonna see a lot of rock star energy, but still implementing the trap, element and stuff like that. But then also some quality elements where it's like very melodic and stuff like that. So I would say just expect just like turn up and very just free kind of feeling and stuff like that. Just fun at the end of the day.
For sure. And now to talk about future projects and just, is there anything you want to talk about, promote, any shows coming up, stuff like that?
I'm trying to get as many shows as possible. Like if you listen to the album, you can already tell this album was made to perform. So I'm trying to get as many shows as possible, especially in Jersey or New York, anywhere. Honestly, I'm down for whatever.
Fine. So one more question for you. We call the last segment Words from the Future, where we ask the artist to leave a message or just any advice they want to leave with the audience.
Spread love, right? At the end of the day, the world is very negative. The world is very fucked up. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. Just spread love to your loved ones. And if you find a real person in your life, hold them tight, because those are very, very rare, right? So again, going back to what I said earlier, be aware of who you have around you, but the real ones, you'll know who they are. Keep those people close and weed the others out.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for joining us, bro. This is another episode of Sounds of the Future TV. Excited to see where you go in the future.
Thank you, bro.
Signing out.
back in the field. Back like I never left, ready to spill. Only got one shot, I go for the kill. Could've went platinum with thoughts to drill, but I found a better way without a deal.